Let's see what we got here, boys. Looking like we're live. Let's refresh this bad boy. See how many dropped frames we're gonna get and all this. She's running a little slow. Lit. How are we looking? How are we looking? I don't know. I guess it's decent. I'll put it on performance mode just to make sure. And share this. This thing decides to not be a jag. All right, well, we'll go from there. That's shared. We're good. Let's bring up this guy so we can kind of take a look at some of this. All right. Yippee-ki-yay. We're off and running here. I hope everybody can hear me. I hope everybody can see me. I don't have many doubts about the audio. I think the audio is probably okay. I think that we're probably good on that front. I want to double check it though because I'm paranoid. So bear with me. Let's take a look here. Worked most of this stuff out earlier. Yep. Wow. That actually looks pretty good. I'm excited to watch this back. I hope this is working out nice. Live streaming is difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's not the... I don't know if it's... I don't want to call it like the most fun. I don't know if it's like... I don't know if really fun is the right term. It's definitely... There's a lot to it. And I'm going to try to go through some of that today. It's definitely a way different setup than I'm used to. So we will just see how it goes. Let me kind of show you guys sort of what I normally do and talk about a little bit of things that went on today and why we're on this platform that we are and how this looks right now. I don't know what it looks like on Facebook, the regular audience, the regular people that normally see stuff on my Mark Joe Szymanski page and on my personal profile. I don't know what this next necessarily looks like right now, but hopefully it's pretty good, and hopefully you'll learn something, from this little thing. I know that I've learned a lot today because what I've done is basically, totally transform the way that I'm doing these live streams. And this is just the first one. So again, if there's any hiccups, please pardon that. But effectively, as you can kind of see by some of the notes here, this is my first try at this one. I'm trying to stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time. And there's a couple of tools I'll mention here in a little bit about what I'm exactly doing and what you can kind of see everything on the screen. I've seen a lot of other creators do this and they've had some success. So I am excited to give it a try and, work out all the kinks and get it working, perfect. So this is actually spelled wrong. Ha ha ha. Forgive my misspelling of forgive. But anyway, yeah, like I said here, hopefully the quality is decent. Forgive any drop frames or anything like that. I'm not 100% sure why that would necessarily happen, but I am doing everything in my power to make sure it doesn't. It looks like on my end we're really not doing too much crazy stuff. It looks like it's going pretty well. I'll watch all of them back and kind of get a feel for them afterwards. But yeah, I think we should be pretty good. So what did I do and kind of like, how's a couple of these things gone today? What's my little agenda? I normally have this agenda in front of me when I have the phone doing the work and of the live streaming. So I received that little drawer thing, and I'm going to make, like I said, that big video. Google Pixel stand. I think I made the decision to keep that, actually. The rest of the Mother's Day gifts came. I got Find It Tech, that Aslo account. I was able to sign in, so that means that I got that. That's fantastic. Still waiting on a couple items. I'm not going to go through them, just like, more different stuff that I'll update you when they get around. But today, I went over and like as soon as I woke up, I just got to work, scheduled and edited 8 and 9 for AM and the PM. So those will come out next Thursday and the following Thursday. And then this is really where we get into kind of the meat and potatoes of like everything that you're seeing right here, and like really the most of the my time spent in the early midday type of range here, because I did go hang out with Amanda and we ate a lot of pizza, way more pizza than I should have eaten, like 10 slices. Not proud of it, but sort of proud of it actually too. So I don't know, but so really though, to get back to like the actual stream piece of this, and if anybody, most of the stuff that I learn, is either self-taught, from YouTube, trial and error, or other people that are doing things right. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I'm sure he's probably not watching this. I don't know if we're connected on any of these platforms, but Max Miro, I think I'm pronouncing his last name right, is a huge creator on LinkedIn. He's got like 8,000 some followers on there. He does streams like this. He's the one that turned me on to Restream. He's the one that deserves a lot of credit for what is to come with this setup and everything. So I'm super grateful for that. And I want to go ahead and kind of actually explain a little bit of this to you guys. If any of you are interested at all, like you want to do this for yourself, or you're just, what the hell am I looking at on the screen here, right? So I think it's a pretty cool setup right now, but like I said, it's literally just the first thing that I could throw together in kind of one day of really looking at all this and trying to, put it all together. So the interesting part about live streaming is that to any of you that like have never really done it before, especially in anything more than just kind of like holding your phone up and just doing a live video, is when you start to integrate some of these things, it just gets not like messy per se, but there's a lot of it takes a lot of, from everything I can tell, it takes a lot of like power, right, from your hardware, and then also like a lot of integration between software if you want to do certain things like what I'm doing here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, like simultaneously, right? There's a lot that kind of goes into that. But I want to give a brief overview because I think it's cool. And thank you, Shane. I don't know when exactly. Okay, so this is actually interesting. Let's pause for a second because this is like a good thing to talk about right now. So on my screen, live on my desktop, which I think you guys may have just seen it now. I think there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, so if it comes up later or whatever it is, bear with me because I'm not 100%. This is the first time with the lag. Like there's a little bit of a lag when you're kind of sending things through where I'm sending them. But I see Shane put the comment up there about the sound quality is exceptional. Let's talk about that for a second. So this chat bar over here is actually, I know my head is kind of covering up the last bottom piece of it, but that is awesome. Okay, so what that is that's a chat via a service called Restream, which I will explain in a second here. But that is, if somebody comments on Facebook, on Twitch, or on YouTube, they will all show up there. And I would be able to respond, like I can type in the bottom to all platforms and stuff like that. Probably not going to do that. I feel like just speaking to whatever question is fine. But that's super cool. Restream is a service that allows you to hook into things like Streamlabs OBS, which is another platform that I'm using to kind of build what you're seeing on the screen. So it's capturing my desktop there, so the window on the left, and then the little chat thing on the right. And then in the bottom right, it has my face, obviously, which is the webcam from my laptop. And I found that little frame. Super proud of that little frame. I just typed in like webcam frames for Twitch or whatever, and it's actually this site right here. It's like WD Flat is what you're looking for if you look for that. And they give you, like, it looked like tons of free things that you could either download as Photoshop documents and edit in Photoshop, or you can actually, that one was like a little online editor. So I threw my name in there and I was able to just download that as a transparent little background thing, and then put that sort of into this sort of like a layout, or they call it a scene. So then you can kind of build this scene and you can put your webcam there, you can put that little frame around it, and then you can put the desktop capture, and then you add like the microphone, for instance, as the audio capture device. I'm happy that apparently the sound quality is terrific. That is good to hear. Thank you for that, Shane. Hopefully it even gets better, honestly, when I put this foam paneling behind where I'm sitting, or right in front of where I'm sitting here. And then I want to continue to talk about like sort of the software that I'm using right now, and then sort of the setup here, because as you can tell, like I'm a little, if you saw I only think I did this one other time, and it was the personal finance crash course. And if you look at that, if you go back on my Facebook page and look at that, I'm pretty sure I was pretty like there wasn't a lot of light on my face. I'm literally against a wall. So if you look on my Instagram, you can see it behind the scenes of what I'm staring at right now. And I have two LED lights like that you put in like the wall for like a night light, or like and when the power goes out, and I'm using tissues as diffusers. So I'm just using, again, I wanted to play around. I wanted to see if I could get that a little bit better. I would like to get some actual, maybe a little bit better lighting, like just something small. Lighting is incredibly cheap. Like, it's crazy. I know that you could get like a full green screen setup with like green, black, and white, like the things to hang it, and two or three big lights for like $100, $120. So it's crazy to me how much or how cheap that stuff is. So I'll be doing that eventually, but I'm happy to hear that, again, the audio seems good. Hopefully we're not dropping too many frames. I don't know the secret to not dropping frames yet. I don't know if it's my hardware. I don't know if it's my settings. I haven't been able to pinpoint it in like the couple hours of troubleshooting I've done. It seems like as long as I'm not doing anything crazy, my computer likes to do what it's doing here. It's not going completely insane. But hopefully that looks pretty decent. Like I said, I'll monitor that after the stream ends. I'll kind of go through it today or tomorrow and kind of see if we can make it any better. And I might continue to do some of the stuff from sort of just the phone, because the camera quality is better. I can still use the microphone. I liked how they were, but I'm trying to make these a little more interactive, a little bit more, put a little bit more in front of people so they can kind of comment on it. Obviously this one is just, again, kind of the agenda, but if we can go over like even more specific things at some point, I think that would be just absolutely great. So we'll get there, but this is a huge stepping stone, because I actually, Streamlabs OBS is free, and I can't really pull it into the shot. One, it'll make it look weird, and two, like I think it might actually kind of like cause us to lose some frames. So I'm not going to do that, but like if you type in Streamlabs OBS or Slobs, you can download it for free if you want to do live streaming. It's a great platform. Can't say enough good things about it. The platform that it sits on top of is OBS Studio, and it's light years better than that. It makes everything way easier, way more efficient. It's tremendous. Restream is just restream.io online, and that is basically how you connect all of them if you want to do multi-streaming. So Streamlabs OBS will let you stream out to other things. You can either connect directly to Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, or you can also just do like a custom stream where you get like your secret key or whatever it's called, and then you stream out that way. It sounds daunting, but those pieces aren't hard. The hardest pieces so far for me have been just like making sure that the stuff is working well. Like kind of doing tests here and there, and making sure that really just making sure that the video quality is at least decent, not just from a pixel and resolution perspective, but just like the frame rate, and like you're not dropping any frames and stuff like that, because that would suck if you're on a live stream that's happening. So hopefully it's not happening here, but those platforms are tremendous. Like I said, they're both free. I actually upgraded today I upgraded on the Restream thing to the paid plan. The reason I did that was because the free tier does not actually let you stream it'll let you stream like basically everywhere else, but it won't let you stream to Facebook pages, which is very appropriate, because that's all I really needed it to stream to. So that was kind of funny. But I'm more than happy to pay the like 20 bucks or less per month to do this if I'm going to utilize it like I plan it and like I intend to, because I want to make not only stuff on Facebook but for other audience as well. I really want to start ramping up the YouTube production. And most of that is going to be regular videos, like, actual produced things once they start getting around and wanting to do that more. But yeah, I mean, I think Restream's a great platform, very easy to use, affordable, and I think you can even do more. I actually think you could do as many as you want. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I can like just start adding channels and things like that. So I can do like, I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I could probably, start up another one and do it to like, I know people do Periscope. Like I was on Periscope for like 5 minutes. I remember back in like 2012 or something, but my point is, like, if you want to go to other platforms, you can do that. So that's tremendous. Already talked about WD Flat. Yeah, I mean, this is cool. Like I said, I'm super excited. I'm happy that I found that little frame for my face too. That's kind of nasty in my opinion. But yeah, I want to do some more stuff like this where I can utilize the actual screen and maybe we can have more interactive content. I would love to get the audience involved more. I had that brought up to me today, like two things. One, audience interaction, and then also inviting people onto the stream. I know that's super duper easy on like Facebook Live, because you can literally just be on Facebook Live and just say invite somebody in, and then they're just holding their phone, you're holding your phone, and it just makes like almost looks like a video call, but you're broadcasting that. You can definitely do that. I'm pretty sure you can do that in Streamlabs, but I think I heard it was very difficult, or at least more difficult than other platforms. So I don't know how that'll end up working. I don't know if I'll end up doing that per se, but we will see on that. The only thing though, like, I want people to be involved, but like as far as like the inviting into the stream, I'm not totally against that by any means. However, I am with Fuel by Progress. I want to, and I've talked to a lot of people about this already, I want to make that a literal like podcast, like video and film podcast that incorporates all that incorporates guests sitting down with me and having like a lengthy discussion that is probably not live but is pre-recorded and then put out to the general public. So that's something that I want to do, and we'll see how that ends up going. But I'm gonna have, pretty soon we're gonna have the podcast set up for AM and the PM, and probably just gonna use the same stuff. So I figured, kind of killing two birds with one stone there, and it'll be, pretty good. So I don't know. Yeah, tomorrow I don't even have it on there tomorrow. I have to go to work. I have to go to Ray's. We're open for Mother's Day. So that's tremendous. So some of my day will be spent there, and then some of it will probably be like Mother's Day takeout dinner, COVID-19 style. And I'd like to do a couple more of these things. I'd like to kind of get this a little bit more buttoned up. I'm really excited to kind of see what the stream quality looks like. Not a lot going on in this one, right? Like there's not a lot of like me switching tabs and doing a lot of stuff. I've noticed that kind of screws with the frame rate here and there. But I'm just excited that I'm documenting all this. I want to talk about one quick thing real fast, because it was kind of, I heard it today. I hear it all the time, and it's really annoying to me. I empathize with it. I understand it, but it's annoying to me. Let me try to explain. So the thing is, there's one channel on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure what the channel's name is. I think his name is Nick Nimmin. I don't know who it is, but anyway, he gives good content on how to do well on YouTube. Okay, I will absolutely 100% credit where credit is due. But there's this one video, and he's like, what to not do when you're like a small YouTuber or somebody that's like kind of coming up, right, and like trying to make a YouTube channel. And he says, don't make content that is like different in a sense. Like don't make content that's like baking a cake and then like gaming like on the same channel. I understand that, but that's like a really extreme example. Like I don't who would do that? Like that doesn't make sense. However, I always hear that. I always hear this like niche thing, like trying to, make a niche on YouTube, and I think, well, yes, but no. Like if you're like there's definitely things that as you're coming up in on YouTube or any social media, like you should kind of stick to sort of like a bucket of things or like a category. But I'm not just gonna post like specifically things about personal finance or specifically things about like personal development. Like first of all, they're all interwoven. Like if you get your finances better, like if you get your finances better in shape, you're developing yourself, right? And if you wanted to start a business one day, you're going to need to know those skills. So again, the audience that I have right now, I've said it multiple times, isn't really like pruned to that per se. It's just like a lot of people that I know and, follow, the page and stuff. So, and again, I'm appreciative of it, but like, as you continue to grow, I feel like those people are, if you continuously do things that are similar, not like the exact same thing, I think you're going to be better off. I always just hated that because like, I'm not, yeah, absolutely. Shane, go ahead. I'm not like, somebody that wants to like do one specific thing per se. Like I'm more of somebody that wants to do a bunch of different things and kind of see like what I like and how, I can do different stuff here and there and like what I can get better at. And I've really like the way that I'm actually set up right now, is just interesting. There's, how do I put this? The way that I'm doing what I'm doing is kind of like it's thought out, and it's in a way that it has an interesting lineage. So like at first I was like all service based, like building websites, and that's what I was thinking about doing. And now I'm still doing that, but like I was like, well, maybe I should like also give information. I feel like there's actually three types of ways that you could like make money or like businesses. There's service, there's product, and now in this new wave of stuff, there's just information, which is kind of like product and service mixed together. But it's like you can give like information to the people for free, and you can make money from like bigger companies like advertisers and things like that. So it's just interesting how that all works and how like you have those opportunities, and like that's just something that I'm not trying to limit myself to. Like I don't want to just make products, I don't want to just do service, I don't want to just provide info. I think a good medley of all of them, and I think that if you're running a good business, you absolutely probably should have all three, but you should definitely have at least the info part. If you're not giving away information and you're not like providing content to people without expecting anything in return, then people are always going to think that you're just like in it for the money, or which I mean you should be, you're a business, but like it's like everything's like just difficult to like, it doesn't seem like you have people's best interest in mind when you're just trying to like force stuff out of them. So I don't know, just my opinion. I've seen a lot of people have success with that, and that's why that's my opinion on that. I am super interested again to watch this back. Specifically, I'm so happy that Shane, you commented on a couple of these things, because I'm interested to see how the lag kind of like shows up. Like it's messed up right now. It's messed up in my head because like I saw the comment, I commented on it on the main screen, but I don't know if the stream is like a couple minutes behind or how many minutes behind it is, or just like a little bit. So I don't know. Let's read the comment here. What I gravitate to your content for and what I would like to see is just the whole process of working for yourself. I'm a huge supporter of people going all in on themselves, and that is why I like watching here. There are so many people I watch on YouTube and ask myself, how did they get to this point in their life that they have this much money while they're not working 9 to 5 and drive exotic cars? So I like seeing this unfold with you. I appreciate that, Shane, 100%, man. I'm not doing anything special, I wouldn't say. I think that I know exactly how you feel. And this is sort of like a segue and like like directly a part of that question. Like one of the biggest things that I have, that I've noticed about myself, or I've just like, kind of like, really started to realize in the past, year or so, is that you can only, and I just had a good conversation with that guy the other day about this. You can only consume content for so long. At least me. I could only consume the Gary Vee, the Alex Becker, the Graham Stephan. I could only consume that stuff for so long before I was like, what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it myself. Like, I'm tired of this 9 to 5 thing. I'm just gonna do it, and we're gonna see what happens. For what it's worth, it takes 30 to 40 seconds for my comment to appear on your stream from when I press enter. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I'm wondering how the stream ends up lining up with that. I'll have to look at that. But regardless, again, low audience count. We're not like going crazy right now, but that's good to know. I'm gonna have to look into that just to kind of see if there's any way to change that lag, or if like I need to wait longer to read comments, or it's probably okay from like the stream perspective. It's probably just not okay from the lag perspective. But I think it might be a relatively normal thing. But in any case, let me expand on that just a little bit more. I looked at people like Gary Vee as a good example, and it's like, well, how the hell did he get to where he's at? Where like he's so everywhere, and he has, he has a lot of money. Obviously, he's done a lot of good he's had a lot of good investments go his way. He's built up companies, and then like the tough part for me is that it's like, well, he is older. Like he is like almost like twice my age. So I'm like, that's pretty good. That you start, the earlier you start, the better hopefully off you'll be in the long run. And I think there's no better thing than to just try to document like what you're trying to go through. And that's all I'm trying to do right now. Like I'm trying to continue to get a little more refined here and there, but ultimately, like I am just trying to do what I see other people doing as far as, getting to where they can fully support themselves on like a, self-employed basis with the companies that they have, the interests that they have, the things that they like to do. And, I love those stories just as much as anybody, and I wanted to write my own. So that's why I'm doing that. And, I appreciate you, picking up on that, Shane. Really do. I know that there's other people that I can kind of get this message out to that will hopefully feel the same way and empathize with that. And, that, like I said, that's one of my goals moving forward, is really start to try to find those people. However I need to do that with, whether it's ads or, different types of campaigns or whatever it is. But yeah, so I think, I love doing this because I think it's very worthwhile, and I think it's very real, to have a conversation, especially with even more people at that point. So I don't know, but yeah. So I do think I need to find a better time though. I mean, like this is again, like I couldn't have done this at any other time. I was out until like 10:30, but that I need to work on a little bit more routine would probably be good in that arena. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking at this Pixel stand. I got this guy today in the mail. I thought I was gonna return it, but I'm probably just gonna use it and sell the ones that I have because I have the Pixel phone. But that was totally a side tangent. I'm super tired. I'm probably just gonna wrap it up here. But I appreciate anybody that slid through. I hope this wasn't bad. I'm sure the audio is pretty good. I'm hoping that there wasn't really any drop frames. I hope the quality was pretty decent. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it back on 3 platforms, make sure that there's nothing wonky going on, and then hopefully this will be the new normal, or we can kind of experiment with a couple other things. I will just say this: I will be so elated, like it will be like Christmas morning when I'm like, like a 3-year-old on Christmas morning. I don't know if 3-year-old, maybe 6-year-old, I don't know. Like 6-year-old on Christmas morning when LinkedIn finally allows people to go live, like globally, like the total general public, because right now you can't get on there because they're jagoffs. But yeah, Once I get on to LinkedIn, I'm really going to ramp it up tremendously because I know that there's going to be a lot of people on there. I have the most connections on there out of any of the networks that I'm on. And I know that there will be a lot of people that, I could kind of find that content, that would find that content that I want to try to do useful. So I'm very excited for that. We'll see how that goes. Appreciate that, Shane. Very, very appreciative of the compliment there. I hope they continue to get better, truthfully, obviously, and we'll see. A little bit more structure here and there, a little bit more cool stuff. I hope this one went well, and thank you so much for anybody that passed through on the live stream. Thank you so much for anybody that clicks on it later, and we'll see you next time.